What's up, everybody? Decided to just go live right now because I was like, oh my gosh, 49.9K. Let's do a little stream. Why not? Watching it count up is always exciting. Last time I did it was at 20K. So I'm gonna be doing some let me think about it. I'm gonna be doing some charting at the same time. Let me make sure we all Gucci here. Cool. How's everyone doing? Hi. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, very random, right? Stream. I mean, I said I would go in the afternoon if I would stream because ICT's been streaming, and I was like, oh, yeah, let me not interview. Also, I'll stop by and watch his stuff too. He has not gone live in a long time, you guys. If you were in the 2023 mentorship, he was going live all the time. It was actually crazy. I'm just getting that link to my own live streams because I just to post on Twitter. So I've been sleeping in, to be honest with you guys. I did not trade a trade yet this week because, well, you know, like I said, ICT's live streaming. I'm not live streaming them. A little bit we have a lot of high impact news coming this week, right? Got to be careful with how we approach the markets, right? So I'm pulling up the Forex Factory calendar right now. Okay. What are we doing? We always filter just USD. And then we'll see. Oh yeah, wasn't there a bank holiday in Europe? Oh, May 1st? It's Labor Day in Europe. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know. Anybody here from Europe? How is everybody doing? Any giveaways for the 50K subscribers? Yeah, this week I definitely will be doing one. Not this stream, I don't think, right now. Because I want it to be a little bit better organized. But we are definitely doing 50K giveaway. Are you kidding me? Big 5-0. Isn't that crazy, you guys? You can actually see here. I did my face reveal in October 13th, right? So some of you guys may not know, but I started on Twitter and just posting my trades and things like that. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna start YouTube and do my face reveal because my profile did not have my face on there. And that's basically where I consider the start of my YouTube channel. And just this crazy, crazy ride so far. And here we are in end of April. So it's been crazy. Appreciate everyone's support. Yo, yo, yo. Okay, so yeah, so tomorrow I'm not trading the morning session. I will probably be streaming FOMC though. I've streamed, I believe, the last two FOMCs, and I think both times I did pretty well. I think out of the 3 FOMCs I streamed though, okay, 2 were wins, 1 was a loss, so not too bad. But a lot of high impact news. We have NFP on a Friday, right? We basically, I coming into this week, I'm kind of no bias / neutral because I know in the past, the past 2 FOMCs, I think I was wrong on my bias coming into it. And so it's better to just, for me at least right now, just wait for the market to show its hand during that time. So we have a lot of high impact news tomorrow at 10 a.m. But I'm going to be waiting until FOMC. And with FOMC, I typically only take a trade after 2:30. Like the first 30 minutes is typically a false move. And I don't recommend beginners to trade that at all, because I've definitely lost a lot of money as a beginner trading FOMC. Cinco de Mayo is Tuesday, but not year. Huh. Thoughts on going max cons on my funded for Amazon earnings? Don't do that. You guys, you're gonna regret doing that. Any earnings is like very much gambling. I've definitely lost, well, but I literally used to be an options trader, and better believe I lost like, earnings is gambling, even though yeah, and I've lost like probably like $2,000 gambling essentially, meta earnings back in the day. And I bought calls, and that time if I had just split it between calls and puts, I actually would have made a ton of money, because then it dropped like 15%. But no, don't do that. It's literally like NFP week. That's how like volatile the earnings are, right? Because like that was pretty much, I think we ended Thursday around here, and then the Google and Microsoft earnings just pumped us all the way back up to the SIBI. So really interesting that we faded from here. Makes sense. We left like this low inside an imbalance for ES. I'll be like looking at whether or not we bounce from here tomorrow. But on the higher, if we continue bearish, right, on the higher time frame, we definitely have the January lows, because this is the 60-day low here. And I'll do some Q&A with the chat. I'll do some for the stream. I'll do some charting, and then we'll do some Q&A. I think is fair. So we've hit the 20-day lows, the 60-day lows, 20-day, 40-day lows, but not the 60-day lows yet for ES and NQ. So these are the 60-day lows down here, and this is a low inside a fair value gap. If we go lower, if we start like, you know, showing more bearishness on like 4-hour, etc., then I think this is a good target in the coming weeks. But tomorrow's gonna, tomorrow in NFP is probably gonna decide a couple things here. So if we're going lower, like I would want this to get disrespected and, you know, more bearish order flow, meaning breaking lows with fair value gaps, getting respected on the other side. So far we retraced into this daily fair value gap in around equilibrium in the premium section for ES. So it could definitely be an area, you know, where we decide to fade, we continue fading lower, because the thing is, I was just looking at DXY actually. DXY, I think it is bullish, continued bullishness. It is going for, right, this monthly buy side, it's a high inside this fair value gap. Whenever I see like a higher or low inside of fair value gap that's not completely mitigated, I'm always like, okay, yeah, that's liquidity. And it's held up, this daily FEG. It's been pretty tough during consolidation conditions when it's inside of it, because a lot of the times what we've seen is like it takes a low and then it doesn't close below a low, and then it just goes the opposite way. You can see here a few times, quite a few times here, right? Takes lows and then doesn't close below them, and then goes and takes highs, some seek and destroy action. So I would think that FOMC then starts the run up higher, the catalyst to run up higher, that for that, and indices then to go lower. Let's check out NQ. We did ES. Gotta check out NQ. Okay, weekly. Right, so last week we had an inside week, meaning we were inside of the last week's range. So far this week already took out last week's high. Did ES do that? Yeah, right? So like technically if we are bearish, like we don't have to, you know, we could have already made the high of the week. But I mean, I'm still sort of coming in neutral, slightly bearish, I would say. The thing is, like for NQ, like we hit this weekly order block. We filled this completely, and we did have a strong bounce up. So that's like the other side of the story to keep in mind. And I do believe like that we have SMTs on like the 4 hour there, the hourly, where yeah, on Friday here, like ES did not take this low. And then NQ did. This is Friday here. You see NQ did take the low. But, you know, that could have been just a short-term bounce into that area of interest. So, keeping an open mind, but also, yeah, I am slightly bearish there. This is quite the bearish close right now on the daily, on the day, right? We're closing near the lows of the day here. Took out this low inside this FEG. It's always that's always pretty good liquidity target there. A low inside of a imbalance. Here we didn't even retrace into this, so that's pretty much like sloppy action. It's the end of the last day of the month, which is quite interesting actually. Today is the last day of April. But we didn't retrace to the morning's FEG here. We created another one, broke this low, then we retraced and hit it at like 315. Okay, and now we're going lower quite a bit. The weekly on here. What does the monthly look like now? It's a monthly close for NQ. Okay. We created like a swing high on the monthly. Okay. Yeah, we have Amazon today after the close, right? Let me see. You can just go Amazon. It is, yeah, Tuesday. Yep. So we could also watch that right now. It's always fun to watch, like get your popcorn ready. And then we can see why that's like pretty much gambling. We have 5 minutes until the close here. What is that? Is this like real or is this like a... No, that's just like a blip, I would say. Okay. Amazon selling off. And NQ, of course. You can look at the Amazon monthly chart. Yeah, it took these previous month highs. Now that it's closing back below. Back into the range. So I do think it could go. That was just yesterday's. That was last week's low. Okay. Yeah. We have all this gap up here. That is quite possible. So let's see. But it is very much gambling if you play earnings. So I hope that person is not gambling their funded accounts for that. Okay, I'm gonna check out the chat now in a couple minutes. Yeah, quite the last like 10 minutes of the day for ES and NQ. Quite the close. Right? And I'll have this up so we can watch the earnings, whether that's gonna be. I think it will. Yeah, this is what I had marked on my other charts, my other monitor. I think this was a 4-hour. Oh, no, I never got to this. Okay. We have ES on the left and NQ on the right. I should make it bigger so it looks more exaggerated. Like that's what everyone does. Or sometimes you can't, so you can just see the spaces between better. Yep. The last like 15 minutes of the month is always like super I would just say a large like move. Definitely look into it if you're curious. But it's a lot of like you know, funds balancing things, rebalancing, whatever. Okay, let's check out the chat. What's going on, chat? Tanya, how do you use Group Trade Ninja Trader? I use the ATM called Advanced Trade Manager. I do watch ICT live, but I don't watch the entire thing. I catch up later. Ooh. Cinco de Mayo's Tuesday. Will I be tape reading this week? I think I will definitely err on the side of caution, just because I think that the range this week is going to be very large, but I will trade for sure. Just maybe you know, higher volatility means more bigger ranges, which means you have to go smaller with your sizing. So let's see. What time will Amazon be announcing that their little earnings? Crazy. So S&P is down 1.5% today and NQ is down 1.8%. I believe Tesla gapped up like a ton the yesterday, right? Like it went from like the 60s to the 70s to the 90s. That's the end of the day bell because China had self-driving news. Anyway, so let's put on the Amazon on the screen. I am actually interested to top left monitor. Okay. So it's always fun to watch it. Amazon earnings. And there's always like a point where it's like right before the earnings it starts being volatile and then it might go one way then the other. Let's put it on the 1 minute. Let's see if it hits this, by the way. This is a level I had marked out where it could hit. We should do a pull up or down. Real quick. Yeah, we might have time. Oh. And that's how crazy earnings are. Just dropped all the way down to this area. Now it's pumping up. What's NQ doing? That's up a bit. That ringer gives you PTSD. Oh, yep. That's how crazy earnings are. You see, do you guys see that? And then hit our level right there. Oh my gosh. How do you get the news for earnings? I just know when they are. There's this account on Twitter, Earnings Whispers, and then also on TradingView. But I do pay for the NYSE stocks data to get that data for stocks as well. So pretty crazy. I hit this level. Let's see if it gets bought up now, because it just tapped that little level I had as sell side liquidity. Even at Amazon. Imagine if you like if I put just like a fill here, a limit order, that would be up already $15 per share. But all fun to watch. So is NQ getting bought up a little bit? Not really so much. It's still at the lows of the day. Tanya, if you use the code Tanya Trades today, will my activation fees still be activated? $50 if I activate next week? It's a good question. I think so. I think if you bought it with that deal. I'm not too sure though. Don't quote me on that. So I mean, I could ask maybe. But yeah, My Funded Futures is having their little last day of their sale for starter accounts. It's $50 for any starter account. And it works for rebills too. So let's say if you like are taking another month, it's going to just be $50 again. Or if you fail it and then leave it for later, then it'll renew for $50. But I'll ask. I might not even like hit 50K today. We might be even like be later because of the fact that it's just though I just randomly went live, but I'll continue being live, and also I'll answer some questions. Let's see. Oh, let me ask them. This is, I think it ends at midnight, this sale. And I believe the Apex 80% off is until 5 p.m. Question about the sale. Okay. So Amazon being bought up, but like on NQ and ES, there's not much of a, I would say, didn't have much of an impact there. So still pretty crazy weak closes here on the daily candles. So it does look like we're more than likely heading lower. For the indices. DXY? This was intraday buy side. It's probably going to close in the next 3 hours. It's probably going to close above, you know, this swing, little intermediate swing high, right? So that's bullish. And closing above previous days high and the swing high. I think it is going higher. Amazon. Okay, let's see any questions. I think I can do. I never tried it. How do I do that on YouTube? Let me see. What did I mark out here? Previous day low. Yeah, and I think, yeah, 4 hour. It would be good if we closed below this 4-hour fair value gap. Okay. Wow, 400 people hit that like button. Let's see. How do I do this? Trying to see. I think there's a way for hi Cozy, by the way. Oh, here. Start a Q&A. How does that? I don't even know how that's gonna work, but let's see. Hover your mouse over any question, then click the ... menu to pin the question for everyone to see. Okay. Cool. Full port NFP, someone asked. No. Waiting for AMD. How much is the activation fee for MFF after passing eval? It says it right here. So if you bought a 50K, it's like $50, 100K is 100, 150 is 150. Hello, Tanya, new here. Congrats on your almost 50. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we have 42 left. I guess, like, yeah, people are strolling in, which is fine. We can't. Weekly outlook on NQ. DXY. Countdown to 50K subs. You guys, you know what I've been doing lately? I've been just playing a lot of chess. Kind of like obsessed with chess at the moment. Like I played 220 games in the past 3 days. Oops. But like, someone's asking the start of my trading journey until now. That is I feel like that's a really long story that maybe deserves a better way to articulate it in maybe a longer, like in a video on my channel. And or a podcast or something, because I don't know how I would, you know, start the story and make it like, you know, there's a way to storytell, I feel like. And I feel like I would forget a lot of things. Let's see, Q&A. Yeah, that actually looks like a few people asked for that. I'll give a short one and then okay. So started trading in June 2020. So soon it's going to be actually 4 years. And I started trading first with small cap stocks. I was actually inspired by Humbled Trader on YouTube. She's a very popular YouTuber. She has like 1 million subs. To get into it. And then from small caps in 2020, by the way, like that was a huge bull market. Interest rates were basically zero. So I did make money on and off, I would say, but I was not consistently profitable, right? And then I switched to trading options, which are way more risky. because with options, you not only have to be correct about the direction of up or down, right? But you also have to be correct about the timing. So you could be correct on the direction, but like, too bad because the theta on the contract disintegrated and now your contract's worth less than what you paid for it. Things like that. So it is a more complicated instrument that I don't really recommend for beginners at all. So for options, there were highs and lows. I would say that was probably quite toxic part of the journey because it could go in your direction. You can make a good amount of money, and then later you look at it keeps going, and then you look at the contract value at that time, and maybe it's now worth like double or triple what you sold it for, and then you actually feel bad about a win, which is very damaging psychologically, right? With futures, what I love about it is that you can just always get back in at any price, and whether it goes up 1 point or down 1 point, it's still $20 in the NQ, right? So you're not worried about buying back a contract now that's worth more than what you sold for it if you're getting back in for options, right? It's a more complicated instrument for sure, but it is very lucrative if you are correct. So, but it requires very, very good risk management. And I traded during the GameStop era and the AMC era, and that was another part of the trading journey, right? That was a very emotional roller coaster, I would say. Just being involved in all that. I was day trading GameStop a lot. Made a good amount of money from GameStop, honestly. And I even was holding 0 day to expiry options very far out of the money on GameStop the night before, and then Elon Musk like tweeted GameStonk and it just skyrocketed along with the gamma squeeze that was happening with that. And that was very emotional because, as we know, like the brokerages, they actually halted you couldn't buy anymore, and other things like you couldn't they halted the stocks for like a good amount of time in the mornings. And there was one time I was actually long AMC, like 1,000 shares of AMC, or maybe even more. Let me think for a moment. Yeah, I would say it was 1,000 shares, and it was trading about like 25 per share. And pre-market, it was up to 27, so I was up like $2,000. And I had my stop at like I don't know exactly where my stop was like at $20. I think I'd bought at 22 actually, so it doesn't really matter the exact numbers, but what matters is that at open then the NYSE was halted for those stocks, and I got slipped to hell for comedic effect, I will say that, because my stop was like, $20, and because it was halted, and it was halted at like $20 or $19, and then it opened back up at $14, and I got filled at like 16. So instead of being down, I think my risk was initially like $1,500 for that trade. I lost like $9,000 because I was slipped to hell. And that's why I can't, even though I think overall I am positive, because GameStop I did make a good amount, but from AMC, opposite. I didn't come out of that huge emotional distress like a millionaire like some people did, and I don't think I will be able to watch that movie that they came out called like Dumb Money or something, because I'm like, I don't want to relive that era of my life. It was just so many ups and downs, right? And okay, someone asked, have you ever traded outside of futures? That's my answer for that. So where are we now in the story? That was about 2021, January 2021, I believe. And it continued on for a few months, right? So let's see. Let me actually like select the question. So where am I now in my journey? Like 2021. I remember March 2021 was a difficult time in the market when, let me actually just pull up NQ at that point, right? That's when the bull market started to turn, right? Yeah, so March 2021, yeah, we were going in a downtrend. And at that time, you know, everything was just up. So it's definitely not used to that in the market, and things were getting more difficult. And when did I find ICT? Actually, this is March 2022. Okay, yeah, same thing in March 2021 right here. Yeah, we went for all this like trend line liquidity. And then, you know, I continued trading like small caps and options, and a lot of like boom and bust, I would say, is my trading journey. Boom and bust, boom and bust. Like, you're profitable, then you lose it all. Like, until like I was trading options and small caps mostly until I started trading futures or learning about futures in March 2022, at the end of March 2022. And that's when I found the ICT 2022 mentorship that a friend just told me about. Oh, and before I was already looking for a switch into futures, I was basically like paper trading, or I was trading MES on my personal account, because my friend in my Discord that I've known for a while, it was just a free Discord. He was talking about, he was talking about switching to futures because of options being more difficult, and at that time, I was mostly trading SPY and QQQ options anyway. So started switching to futures, and essentially at this time what happened was I was retail trading. I was trading like double tops, double bottoms, flags, VWAP, EMAs, volume profile, essentially. And one of my friends in that Discord group, essentially I was short a double top, right? And then it came back and it stopped me at like break even. And I was like, oh, okay. And then my friend entered after I was already out, and it broke its structure again. And then it played out to sell side liquidity. And so I saw, wow, like I just got stopped out of that trade for break even, but he got in later and like he was profitable in that trade. And I was like, what made you get in? Like, what did you see differently? And he said, oh, there's this like, I'm studying this new kind of technical analysis called ICT. I've been learning it. He just started this like YouTube series. You should check it out. And he linked me. And I believe at that point he was up to like episode 11. So I was basically caught up, and then I was basically just following along every time he was releasing a new video. And I finished that series. And I had switched to ICT trading because that was just how an easier way for me to see the markets. And I found more success and found it to be more a better way of thinking about the markets in terms of liquidity and things like that. Like, I used to be a breakout trader, and you know, yeah, I probably would have been buying here, for example, in the past, and then for all those false breakouts. Meanwhile, ICT thinks of it as liquidity, and you're using it as the reversal. And I remember this. Man, I remember when ICT would give these like little forecasts on price on Twitter. It's just nice to see and look back in price and see that happening, right? It comes back, it takes liquidity, it comes back, fills imbalances, and then it drops again. Anyway, so that's my journey there. And I would say a lot of people ask me also, how long did it take you to pass an eval, right? It took me like 9 months because, well, I was studying and I was also trying my hand at evals and everything during that time, and it took me a while. And I don't really recommend that. I don't recommend, like, if you're just getting in now, like, don't start trading prop firms right away if you're still just learning and you don't have like your model defined yet, because you're just gonna end up wasting money, to be honest with you, like I did. And I thought like, oh, every time ICT would say like, don't do this, like you think you're special or whatever, you think you're the exception, I was always thinking like, no, I can do it, like I've been trading already 2 years, blah blah blah, like I know how the markets work. And no, Tanya. If you think that you're the exception, you're not. Like 100%, 99% of the time, you are the rule. You are not the exception, right? And it's just really important to have a grasp on your model and backtest it first. Otherwise, you're going to be over trading and losing accounts for no reason, right? Like I did. So let's see. Bearish on a week for NQ. I do. So let's see. Select question. Bearish on week for NQ. I'm more inclined to be bearish at this point. I don't know where all these other. Oh, this is NQ continuous. I was like, I made a pretty good chart earlier, so I do think so, because we took out last week's high already. And we're having quite the ugly close here. But so what's going to be important is, by the way, we are closing below this 4-hour FEG now, so we're inverting this. So I'm thinking, retracement and sell lower. We'll see how it reacts to these other PD arrays it created, and see what happens overnight. And tomorrow is like gonna be a big deal for FOMC. So, but again, like I acknowledge I've been wrong on FOMC weeks quite a bit. So I'm also not gonna stay married to a bias like 100%. Someone got scammed by someone impersonating me, and they have a WhatsApp number of you. Is it really you? No, that is not me. Do not fall, please. I'm not going to DM you first, and there's so many impersonators. Please don't fall for their scams. It makes me upset when I see somebody like tell me that they lost some money. It hasn't happened a lot. Maybe you're like the second person that says that, but no, I do not manage anyone's money, and I don't have a course, and I don't have a private group or Discord or anything. Like I live stream sometimes on YouTube for free, most of the time. I would say most of the time, right? There are some exceptions, like Mondays with no news, or like this week I haven't been in the mornings because ICT's been streaming, and I'm like, I want to see if I want to watch it too. So, there you go. Will I be trading Thursday and Friday? Yes. Okay. Do you consider this time as a hard time in the market? Is the market harder to read? Thank you, Tanya. You're awesome. Thank you. Right now, I would say this week was pretty good. Last week was pretty good as well. I think right now is not too hard. I think price action's gone larger ranges, which is good for traders. Just make sure you manage your risk correctly. During this time, it was very difficult. All this consolidation, because we kept hitting these all-time highs and not really taking any lows or liquidity, and we were just sort of like grind higher. You know, I had definitely some frustrating experiences trading during this time. But then we finally had like a break of a low and a close below a low, which was our market structure shift. And then large ranges are back in the market. So when you have larger ranges, just make sure that you have, when I always say like manage your risk, I mean like just know how much money you're willing to lose and size accordingly, right? So your position sizing is super important. If you go on your trading view and you go to your tools, you go to long or short position, right? And let's say you want to short something, right? Like, let's just go to NASDAQ just as an example. And this is how you can easily find out position sizing for futures. You pull up this, you double click it. Now it pulls up a template for you, right? And you have several templates. So this was mine for like a 150K account. I'll just put the amount of money for drawdown there. And then I personally risk like 10% of that. So basically I'm risking 450 per trade normally. And then this is just an example. You press OK. If you want like to put anything else in there, just do that. Put lot size 1 for futures. Press OK. And now TradingView will just tell you how much you can risk. Look, like let's say you wanted to short the middle of this FEG and whatever. You wanted to put a stop there, right? And you wanted to go for this low that wasn't taken yet or something, right? Why is this so big? Because I put on a higher time frame first, right? This is just an example, you guys. But let's say this was what somebody wanted to take. So to risk $450 on this, you see it says here quantity 0.492. That means you can have half of a contract of NQ, which means you should not take one contract. You should take 5 contracts of the micro NASDAQ. Okay? And then same thing, if it says like one, let's say it was a smaller stop loss or whatever, it doesn't matter, just for example's sake, let's say someone wanted to go here and stop there, whatever. So let's say it's just as an example, if you had a smaller stop loss, then it says quantity 1.7. Oh, thank you so much to the traveling trader. It says 1.7. That means you can take 17 micro contracts, or just take 1 NQ and you'll be risking less than that. But that's the gist of that, and that's just a really easy way to find out position sizing. Thank you so much, the traveling trader. What did you say? What up? What up? What up? And funding. Congrats on 50K. Oh, thank you. We're so close. We're so close. We need 22 more subs. Hit the like button if you learned something. Does this work with Forex CFDs as well? Our tool does work for Forex CFDs, but you have to like I never traded CFDs, so I don't know the exact parameters to put in for that. Like you have to adjust the lot size according to whatever your firm or broker is for that. Like I'm not sure what it is. But yeah, and then you can have different templates. So you can have like I literally have like different templates here. And so you click you make yours and then you click save as, and then you have different templates. So I have $250 risk, $450 risk. I have more different ones under here. That's what I recommend for people. Let's see, any other questions? And I will, I have a whole presentation on risk management I made, and I'm finishing it up today. I think I'll release it today, most likely. So stay tuned for that, because it's not only about like position sizing, it's about also knowing exactly like which conditions work the best for your personal models. And I'll share mine, and as well as like how I adjust my risk, my sizing, depending on the conditions in the marketplace and what those conditions are, right? And that comes more with experience, 100%. So it's really trading is a lot about knowing when to hold them and when to fold them, right? When should you not take a trade? And then also when are the conditions really good so you could actually increase your risk, right? And that comes later when you're more experienced. Okay, let's see. Someone says news demolished their analysis. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe FOMC will end up, yeah, if FOMC ends up like just reverting here and like closing above here, then, you know, my bear idea is wrong. So it is like thrown in the trash, essentially, right? Okay. Someone asked, why is the market moving down? What's going on considering FOMC hasn't happened? You know, it just does that sometimes. What was today's news in Forex Factory? We had an employment cost Q over Q at 8:30. We had 8:30 news. Okay. And we had 10 a.m. CB confidence. That's what really probably started. Oh. Yeah. I mean, it's a really volatile week with tech earnings still happening, right? We had Amazon tech earnings. By the way, where is it now? And then we have FOMC tomorrow. Okay. So this is why I say like playing earnings is pretty much a gamble, because most people, anybody that played any type of options on Amazon, which is essentially saying like, you know, I bet it'll go down or be up, they're getting IV crushed because it's consolidating and it's back at the price where it closed at. So, you know, that's why it's really, the odds are against your favor there. Okay. Let's see any other questions. Oh my god, 7 more subs. 7 more subs. Okay. How do you, oops. This one's good. This one is good. How do you manage the possible / probable forced over trading that comes with payout requirements of some prop firms? Honestly, I'll be honest, like sometimes I do blow up an account because of that. I have done that like literally last week, blew up some Apex accounts because of that. I'm still working on that. Like, I'm not perfect either. So the way I sort of mitigate risk that way is that I'll have like other prop firms as well. So with my funded futures, they don't have any sort of minimum trading days. So they have calendars and days instead. So it's like every 14 calendar days. And then with TopStep, it's 5 trading days of $200. And I've definitely lost $1,000 trying to make $2,000 before. The only thing that you got to do is have a max loss for yourself on the day, right? And be able to walk away and be able to take that loss. And that's easier said than done. If you have rhythmic, you can actually put like max loss on the day for that to make you stop. But it really comes down to like a lot of the times with this, it's like you're gonna hit one day, like you're gonna hit rock bottom, and you're gonna have to face reality, and you're gonna have to want to change something about yourself, and making a system is the most important part of that. I've definitely reduced it a lot personally, because I have like a system in place. Like, okay, 2 losses in a row in that session, I have to stop, and like I have a whole like program to block my trading apps, and I don't have trading on my phone. So I have a program on my computer to block out my charts for that. So gotta force myself not to. Like, oh my gosh, one more. Who's gonna be 50K? Who's gonna be 50K? Okay, I knew that was gonna happen. You guys are trolls. I knew that was gonna happen. That's funny. Okay. Yes! 50K! W's in the chat. W's in the chat. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We gotta put like some freaking sound effects or something. Now, so this happened at 20K too. Some people wanted to freaking unsub at the time. Okay, there we go. We got past it. Okay, all those people who unsubbed are now resubbing because we hit it. And I see all the trolls. There's freaking 13 of you. I see you. Let's go. All right. Okay, so this week we're definitely doing a giveaway, so I'll be streaming tomorrow afternoon. We'll be streaming Thursday morning and Friday morning, I think so, with NFP, yes. Yes! Oh, 50K take profit hit. That's funny. Thank you, Jonathan Brunette, for the donation. Congrats on the 50K. Thank you so much. Long on Tanya, that's funny. So let me look at the other questions. Yeah, so I've hit rock bottom before for sure, and I had to have that long talk with myself about, you know, hey, if you're actually gonna continue doing this as a profession, like you can't be doing this. You can't be losing and then on the next trade doubling your risk to try to make it back right away, and or like being in a rush to find another trade. And that's actually my red flag when I take a loss and I'm like, oh, okay, let's see if we can find something else real quick to like make it back. No, not unless there's something there. You should not be doing that. And I've literally struggled with that, like literally like last week. So my assistant, though, he came through, Castillo, he's not here right now, but he literally texted me. He just texted me a URL of my video where it's like the top 5 mistakes all traders make. And it's like, bro, like I got roasted with my own freaking video. Yeah, somebody says, I remember you wishing 10K sub as a New Year gift, but you got that before Christmas, and now we are counting down 50K subs. That feels great to see you growing. Yes, shout out to the people who have been here since the start. Here we go. What bad habit I have to get rid of to gain consistency on the market? Great question. I over trading. That's like the #1 killer of accounts. which means, what does overtrading mean? It doesn't really mean like taking a lot of trades. If that suits your like strategy and you see a setup, then that's fine. But the overtrading means taking something that's just random and is not your model, right? If you're like, oh, I see these green candles going up, like I'm just gonna short the tops of those green candles. It's in a premium, you know, even though it doesn't give you any confirmation for a shift lower. That's overtrading. And that's what I had to battle. Just like making up these random strategies on the spot that I didn't really backtest, and would be like, okay, I can make money back this way. And the worst thing that can happen is actually making money on that, because then you're rewarded for bad behavior, right? Okay. What's your criteria for entry / break even / exit? So entry, I'm typically a fair value gap. Break even, typically 2R. Exit, liquidity, or intermediate term liquidity, like a imbalance. That's a good question. Do you remove your drawings from your chart and start with a clean slate every day, weekly? I would say weekly, yes. Daily, no, because if I marked something before, that should be fine. I'll probably delete like the last set. If it was something just like trading the afternoon session, then I'm probably deleting that from the previous day, yes. Oh. Did they respond to me? Okay. So the person with my funded futures question has my funded futures replied to this question. If I use code Tanya Trades on the you're talking about this, right? If you use code Tanya Trades on this account today, you buy 50K, will the activation fee still be $50 if you activate next week? This is what it says. It says, this is what they said to me. They said activation sticks with account. Resets will be back to $100 tomorrow. Okay, so yes, the activation fee will be stuck to your account. So if you do buy before midnight today, you can get any size for $50, 150K also for $50, but the activation fees that you see here will also be valid. Okay. Okay, someone, did you take a trade today? No, I didn't. I've slept in today. Can you recommend us your top prop firms? I trade with 3 of them. Apex, wait, I'm just listing the 3 of them in no particular order right now. Apex, Top Step, and My Funded Futures are the 3 that I use. I've gotten payouts from all of them. Those are my top 3. Yeah. I would say that it depends on the trader on which one is going to suit you the most. There are pros and cons to each of them. So with Apex, it's good if you're a scalper and you just go for small wins and you're done. You take those quick wins because then you can stack 20 accounts. But for the other 2, their drawdowns are much easier for beginners and much easier for traders in general, because even with intraday drawdown, it's hard for even the best traders to navigate. So with My Funded Futures, I really like it. Like I said, there's no rush to take a trade and there's no extra psychological thing because their payout is every 14 calendar days, right? So you could actually just make your money and then just trade on other accounts in the meantime, which is what I do. And then wait for the payout. Then you're not rushed to, have 5 trading days or 10 trading days on that account. And for Top Step, they have certain pros and cons too. Is that after you're at your first payout with Top Step, you actually get refunded 1 month of your eval, right? So let's say you had a 150K account, you got to your first payout, you're actually going to get refunded to your credit card the money for $150. So that's pretty cool too. And they've been around the longest. They've been around since 2012. So, do I ever trade gold or oil? No, not really. Oh gosh. That's a funny question. I'll just answer anyway. Haha, I remember that funny comment on your Instagram you shared on your story about someone commenting that I'm alone in every photo. So we want to hear today on 50K celebration. Are you single? Haha. Yes, I am single. Just been focusing on trading for so many years now. So I sacrificed my personal life, I would say, for years. So that's just how it went, and that's that. Maybe in the future, I don't know. We never know. What year did it start to click? Ooh, great question. I would say year 3. Yeah. Year 3. So if you're trading for like 2 years now and you're still on and off, not profitable, I've been there. And a lot of people, same thing, like takes like 3 years or more a lot of the times, because a lot of the years for me was spent strategy hopping, so, and over leveraging. So that was all my a lot of setbacks in that area. So if you just, it's just the fact, the sooner you actually stick to something and you don't, like, every time you see a new tweet or a new video on this new strategy, you don't go away, leave your current one, then the faster you're going to be profitable, because a lot of times you just need a few tweaks. You just need an edge. You just need to be making money over a long period of time. So a lot of people are just taking a small sample size of maybe the last 5 trades that they have, and if they're all losers, they freak out. Well, guess what? Actually, on my Top Step account that I ran up to 50K, literally, looked at the numbers on TradeZella, and it says I took 8 losing trades in a row on that account. So still made 50K on that account, even though I took 8 losing trades in a row. Not everyone would be able to stick to their model after that, right? Food for thought. And actually, it's an understanding of math. If you have a 50% win rate, which I do, sometimes more, 53% it is right now, and actually less, sometimes more. Last week I had 3 wins on stream and 1 loss. So, but for the example, if you have a 50% win rate, the odds that you will have 6 losing trades in a row are 100%. Over the next 1,000 trades, like 100% sure it's going to happen. So a lot of people like to pretend on social media that they're taking winners every single trade. It's not the fact. They're lying to people. They're creating a false reality, and then people that are taking some losses here and there then try to strategy hop. Okay, let's do a few more questions. How long have you been trading? 4 years in June. What's your risk model per trade? I'm going to be coming out with that in the next next 24 hours. There'll be a whole PowerPoint. Okay. Hello, Tanya. I have a problem with the macro and I cannot trust its timing. Can you mention the important macro times for me to use? I think I just retweeted something like that on Twitter. Best ones are 9:50 to 10:10 and 10:50 to 11:10. And then there's also 1:50 to 2:10 and 2:50 to 3:10. Does MFF reset on rebuild? Yes. Okay. See one more. Okay, and will I be trading Thursday or Friday? Yes. Okay. Now I'm looking at the other chat. Okay, 100k subs next. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in any kind of rush or anything. I actually literally purposely slowed down my growth because I was getting overwhelmed. You know, after ICT did shout me out, I was getting like 5,000 viewers on my live streams in the mornings, right? Typically it's about, my average is around like 2,500 to 3,000, and you know, a sudden jump to 5,000, and not everyone was like really there, so being supportive or had the best intentions, so it was overwhelming, and I had to you know, literally just take a little break to reset. And also my cousin was visiting, so I took a little break recently. But it is very cool to see 50k. It's a nice round number. Yeah, someone says it's helpful to know the higher time frame. Always, like, if you want to increase your win rate, just always like trade in the direction of the higher time frame. And that's what I did when I was first starting, and I actually had a pretty high win rate doing that. So and I do try to do that also now, but in consolidation conditions it's always really, really difficult. Do I know Trades by Matt? Yeah, I know him. We're mutuals on Twitter. He's a cool guy. I was in his live chat the other day. I bet that your growth will happen exponentially faster as your subs grow. Like, you think growth as a trader? I don't think that's correlated, growth as a trader as growth as a YouTube subs, because for me it was like it slowed me down as a trader for a bit, because it was giving me too many voices in my head, because everyone was having like opinions about the trades I was taking. And then ICT literally personally emailed me the other day, last week, and he was kind of like, you know, there's people in your live chat that are always going to be like just projecting things onto you because they're not profitable. So and he gave me suggestions on just like, when you're in a trade or when you're analyzing charts, don't read the chat at all. You know, don't do any sort of engagement, no polls, no anything. And I tried it for last week, and it did help my trading a lot. Like, I have 75% win rate. Like 3 for 4 is great on the stream. Not that that's a large sample size, but like that's a big difference already for my performance on stream though. Any insights on my journaling routine? I use TradeZealot to journal because I like that you import everything automatically and then you can just type up what happened. But essentially, I think after every trade, what's important to note is, would I take that trade again? Yes or no? Like, that's just like a really simple thing that you can note for yourself, and to help curb over trading and impulsivity, right? You mark down how many times that happens. And then after that, right, then you can get into some nitty gritty like entry and exit and things like that. But I like to keep it pretty simple of like, did it match the entry criteria and the exit criteria? Pretty much that's it. What would you recommend to someone going through analysis paralysis? I would say like most likely the side with the displacements is the side to be looking at more, and then also just like go up more. Most likely you should just go up at one time frame. So if you're on the 1 minute, go to the 5. If you're on the 5, go to the 15. If you're on the 15, go to the hourly, and you know, that should probably help things out. What broker do I use for futures? I said I use a Ninja Trader. Ninja Trader. How to learn futures terms? What do you mean? Like which ones? Maybe I can make a video for that. Oh, actually, I have a video. I'm so funny. I'm so funny. There's a video on my channel. It says like futures for beginners. Check that out. I did a webinar. Maybe I'll put before we go, I'll put a link, the Google form link if you're interested in attending future webinars. I haven't done one this month, but I will. Do like free Zoom webinars and then I post them on YouTube. So I'll put out that right now. Man, I love chess. I'm not even joking. Like that's helped me not be on how would you say social so much, so that's good. Been playing a lot of chess. I'm not good at it by any means, by the way, so don't say I'm good at it. I'm actually really bad. Just starting out though, so let's see. What do I call it? Webinar. Okay, here we go. Found it. Send. I'm gonna put it in the comments right now. I mean, in the chat. You can fill out this form if you're interested in free webinars I do in the future, or you know. What should we sell or buy? I don't know. Not financial advice. Yeah, so we are doing a giveaway this week, so stay tuned to come through. Tomorrow I'll be streaming the afternoon session after FOMC, and then Thursday and Friday I'll be streaming as usual the mornings. So thanks for coming, everyone. It was fun to watch, and have a great day.